You just did a corporate event.
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a comedian, here's the kinds of events you're doing. You're doing clubs, you're doing colleges, you're doing churches, you're doing corporate events.
Yeah.
No birthday parties?
I mean, I mean,
I did a
my
kid's
kids
birthday
would
party.
love it.
Yeah.
I did a kid's birthday
let's
party.
Let's call a birthday party a corporate event. I would
okay.
say, yeah.
Okay.
And then
Private event?
What'd you say?
Private event?
Yeah,
is
you
a
could say
corporate
private event.
like-
Yeah. And then cruises.
What about weddings?
Let's call that a corporate event. The reason is because you go clubs, colleges, churches, corporate events, cruises. It's literally 5 C's, which is kind of funny. Yeah. So like those are the
The 5 C's of comedy.
The 5 C's of comedy. I mean, I did come up with it.
That includes
Oh,
bar
Adam Bush.
mitzvahs,
Wait, what'd you say?
bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs,
Yeah. So
and quinceañeras.
those are kind of churchy events.
And
religious.
basically everything we threw out that wasn't a C, Adam just threw it into a
Corporate.
category that had a C. Oh, we'll call that corporate. It's
about-
a child's birthday.
Okay, listen. You're okay.
No, I'm just
What about a
teasing.
pool party? Is it at a church?
I say that corporate.
All right. So that's where you're okay.
Yeah.
So clubs are obviously really fun, very hard to get into, very low paying most of the time.
Yeah.
You don't get paid anything. Obviously colleges, it's hard to get into, but it's very lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
Churches are very unique. That we fit that bill,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is awesome,
yeah.
and they're lucrative. And then corporate events are very lucrative. Well, the cruises are very lucrative, but very time consuming.
Yeah, right.
You're away from your family,
Yeah.
and you have
You're
to
on a cruise, though.
You are on a cruise, but by yourself. It's
You
kind of
can
like
eat
I went to
all- you can
Paris.
eat
That's-
all you can eat.
all you want. Yeah, yeah. We should. I know a guy who does cruises. We should interview him. And then corporate events. All right, so we're going to talk about corporate events just for a minute, not for the whole episode. But corporate events are unique because they are well-paying.
Mm-hmm.
You typically don't have to do a lot of time, and you're just like, hey, this is awesome. I'm going to do 20 minutes. I get paid $1,000 or something like that. Fundraisers. Well, I just got. I just got booked on it's a kind of a depression awareness kind of thing.
Cool.
It's definitely a corporate event, that sort of thing. And I thought, especially, I did my first corporate events this Christmas. And I was like, boom.
Yeah,
This is great. The bosses were excited.
Yeah,
One of
yeah,
them was
yeah.
just like, I love Mike Birbiglia. I was like, well, guess who I love?
Yeah, I'm his understudy.
And how about Adam Birbiglia? So I get there, and I told you afterwards, I was just like, oh, that was not very fun.
Yeah.
And it's not that I ended up ditching my set and just doing crowd work, which that was fun.
Yeah.
But we're learning it is a unique sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different things that can fight against doing the corporate events. One being like the room isn't always, it's like I did one in a casino ballroom. It's like, it wasn't.
I did one in a casino ballroom.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. High ceiling.
Very huge, very big room.
Big.
Everybody was at these massive circle tables and really, really spread out.
Yeah. I had like 50 people, maybe.
There was a lot of people at the one I did, but it felt like a
Yeah.
very, like just super big. Like,
Right.
Yeah. And the lighting isn't super great. And like
it's terrible.
Yeah, in a
Or
ballroom
non-existent.
Like
Just on.
It's just on. Yeah. Just kind of like
Yeah.
you're standing in a living room with like just the. Can we
Yeah.
turn that lamp on?
At mine, it was like the boss's wife, also the boss. She was just like, I just want to say a really nice thing about a few people, and she gave some gift cards and some cash. And we're at a casino, and they're all getting little bonuses to go to the casino.
Yeah.
But first, here's Adam Bush, a comedian you've never heard of, for an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So that's kind of I walk away from that. And I'm just like, oh, that wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. So you just did one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, yeah. What was it kind of?
Well, it's that tension you were just talking about is like they're not really there to hear from you. A lot of these people are probably there, for the organization that they're supporting. A lot of times it's like a fundraiser or something like that. And, sitting at round tables isn't always the best.
Right.
Because like half of the people aren't looking at you, or unless they stop and like kind of turn their chairs around. But so it's just a different going from like doing a room that's like 100 people in it, that's like small and tight, or
They're all there for
they're all there for
comedy.
comedy. They're all, you know, packed in, looking at you, expecting laughs, compared to a room of people that are, you know, eating some cheesecake while you're talking about whatever. It just feels like my perspective is those are very challenging because you kind of feel sometimes like you're just performing on a stage and no one really wants you to be there.
I think that's very real.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't want you to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you are like, a lot of times it's just like an add-on.
Right. Yeah. It's like, get to the thing. I'm here for the auction.
Yeah.
Like I want to support this thing. And so, yeah, it's like, you're just one more thing that people don't.
Yeah. So how did yours go?
So I thought it went well, in terms, like, everyone seemed to have a good time, and, you know, the organizers seemed to be very happy with it. And for me personally,
Hold on. I want to stop for a second.
Yeah.
A comedy show where the response is, how was the show? Everyone seemed to have a good time. The promoters liked it. The audience seemed okay. Like, that's not what you want. You
right.
want it to be like, oh, it was amazing.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
the whole place was going nuts, and they couldn't eat because they were laughing too hard. For everybody that was there, it seemed like they enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
If you asked them at the end of the night, take it or leave it, they probably would have been like, yeah, whatever. I thought it was fine. I come from, my background is sketch comedy, or like where it's like, it's the focus, and it's like, we're gonna, like, if they're not like belly laughing, then something really went wrong. Like that's the goal. Like, that's what our target is like, I want to really get these people going, and I just never got them there. And so for me, it felt like, like, is it me? Is it the room? Is it, you know?
How long was your set?
It was only like 10 minutes.
What jokes did you do?
So I talked about getting older. I did my bird stuff. I did,
I
don't even
love this line of work. I did my bird stuff.
I did my bird
Like,
stuff.
did you do the goose joke?
I did the goose joke.
I love that joke.
Yeah. I can't even remember. Oh, and then I did all the stuff about what my body's doing now, and the falling down and all that kind of stuff.
You end on falling down.
I ended up falling down. Okay. And so then it was fine. Then we transitioned to the next part of the thing. Then when we did the auction, they asked me to help do the auction with the auctioneer, which I'd never done before, but I was like, oh, this will be fun.
Yeah.
And we had so much fun.
That's
And it was cracking jokes, and it was
You were
great.
just regular. You weren't a character.
No, yeah, it was just me, and
Okay.
then we were just kind of riffing back and forth about stuff or whatever, and I was introducing all the different things that we're going to be bidding on.
Like, what's an example of kind of a joke?
I mean, like one joke was we then go down into the audience, and we're like, we did this thing where if you want to donate a few $100 to this certain thing, then basically put your card up.
Yeah.
And so there was one that was a really big number that we're asking for, and one of the guys lifted his card, and the auctioneer was like, he's one of my best friends. Thank you so much. I got to give you a kiss on the forehead for that. And so it was, just whatever. And then I was like, anybody else want a kiss on the forehead? And it was a good laugh. But it's just like riffing on like what.
Yeah. It does seem that, like, my experiences with corporate events have been, people love the live happening.
Interacting with what's going on
Yeah.
right now in the room, instead of trying to go like, what I struggle with is, just the material.
Yeah, one of those events that I did for like a piping company, I said, who's in charge of HR here? And one of the owners was like, I guess I kind of am.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what you want from your HR director. Yeah. I kind of am. And
we're passionate about it.
That
HR.
kind of joke seems to, I mean, it does well in comedy too. I mean, it's just crowd work, but like, that seems to be better in
because it's about them. It's connected more closely to them.
Yeah.
Whereas, so that's where I just go, is the material, do I need to rethink my material for corporate gigs? And I always try to like build in a few jokes about the night or whatever, just to try to find those kind of maybe the more obvious connections to the room, or what the organizations about or whatever. And
Yeah, I think it's just learning how to do that more.
yeah, probably so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we're going to be corporate comics for the rest of our lives or whatever.
Yeah.
But even when we're much more successful, like we're going to get requests for corporate events.
Yeah.
They'll be more high paying.
Yeah, I'll go swing by Google and
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
for $20,000.
Sure. And I think having that tool is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the only way you can get that tool is to
Keep using it.
yeah.
Got to sharpen it, you know? That's the thing.
I feel like that's what Pastor Bobby would say.
You got to just keep using it.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
What
voice
character
sounded
was
weird,
that? Was a
didn't he? I
different
felt like
character.
it was two characters in the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't
All
that
right.
good?
Yeah, there you go.
That's my little trigger. Isn't that good? Is what
Is
gets
that
me
it?
into the character.
Yeah. So hey, we're learning. I don't think it means that like you're having to rethink your whole set.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you keep my experience, which is like in this area, is barely just maybe one step
Yeah.
ahead of you on this. I think you just have to keep being aware of what these events are and.
Sorry, I'm struggling with
No,
this
that's-
right now.
Do they have comedy workshops?
Are you
Can you
saying
get
we
a
need to go to
degree
college?
in
Wow.
jokes or
Phew, screw you,
I
Gary.
mean
Okay.
there's I'm not suggesting to go do it, but it seems like there's acting school.
Oh, they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
there's tons
of
Oh,
workshops, yeah.
I've done tons of stuff, especially during COVID. A lot of them went online. I did a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Very helpful. Very helpful. And you would like us to go to another one?
Yeah, we need to start raising money.
Okay.
Well, we should, specifically corporate workshops.
I wonder if
That's interesting.
yeah. All right. Today we're talking about networking. Doesn't that sound fun?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Networking.
We'll do our best to make it fun. We're just going to talk about what it looks like. I mean, it's a self-employed kind of thing.
Yeah,
I just
and-
tuned out, guys.
I know
Oh
you
my
I
did.
just
gosh.
tuned out.
Beep, bap. Networking is something that I've always struggled with all my
Yeah.
life. I've always, it's just stuff like, I've just had some amazing opportunities that I just, in my mind, it's like, oh, that's cool. And then I would leave it at that.
Okay. So how about this? Is this more fun, Garrett? We're talking about where we find opportunities. Is that better?
Does that sound better? We could just talk about all my botched opportunities.
Okay. Chris's botched opportunities. Welcome to the podcast.
No, I think not. The headline can't be networking unless it's like networking fails.
I don't think it's anything more.
or missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities
Craigslist.
pretty good. Chris has missed opportunities.
Yeah, call it missed opportunities. That's funny. Networking sounds corporate.
Yeah. it
No,
does.
and it's so boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does sound like you got to go out to all the.
A big difference between you and I
Yeah.
is people will ask me regularly, like, Adam, how are you going to, like, I just did California, a few shows in California.
Yeah.
I was up in Virginia. It's like, where are you finding these?
Yeah.
I like connecting with people.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And Chris is looking at me with this thing. What's amazing, and so like I work really hard. Like I reach out to people every single day.
Yeah.
This is super nerdy of me, but I try to reach out to 10 people a day.
That's awesome.
Even if it's you, like you had told me,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like a couple of days ago, you were just like, hey, we might have a potential of a
Yeah.
show somewhere, and I was just like, I just wrote your name down. I was just like, make sure
Yeah.
you reach out to Chris about that.
Yep.
So I try to reach out to 10 people a day, and that's something I heard a comic say a long time ago. I don't always hit it, but I get pretty close.
Where do you come up with the 10 people? To
It's
reach
pretty
out to?
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
10 different people every day.
this is so boring. I'm going to fall asleep, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I have a friend, Mark David. Shout out to Mark because he does listen to the podcast.
Woo! Let's go, Mark.
Good pal. Mark's that guy who came up to you. Was like, hey, it was at my show, and he was just
Yeah.
like, hey, you remember? Wait, you do remember?
Yeah, your show where you,
Yeah.
What did he say to me there?
No,
What
he
were
came
you-
up to you and he was just like, I'm here with Steven Stevens. Remember he had
Okay.
he had like his phone out or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Mark's great. He's
Yeah.
longtime friend. He's a business dude. Like
Awesome.
he's a salesman. And he's really good at it. And he says anyone that has an opportunity for him to sell something to them, or to even get another referral or whatever, that's a lead.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die.
I'm getting tired.
Hey, Adam, what CRM are you using?
I don't know. But Mark was really nice, and he reached out to me one day. And he was like, "Hey, I could help you.
Yeah.
Just think about this." I was like, "Okay, great." So he came over to the house, talked to me for like
That's awesome.
3 hours. He was very generous, and he just said, what I'm looking for. He just and just kind of taught me kind of what a lead is, just like somebody who might have an opportunity for me to like reach out or whatever. Okay. So anyway, thank you, Mark. It really has.
That's awesome.
It really has like financially changed my life for the better. Just having that in my arsenal. If you want to come over again, you can. And so every time I see, I can do this fast. Every time I think of someone who might be an opportunity for a show, or another comic who might have an opportunity for a show, or a church, because I love performing in churches, or a club, I write it down. And I have this long note. Anytime I meet a comic, I say, like, especially somebody out of town, I'm like, "Hey, could I trade you leads? Like, I know so-and-so at this club. Do you know anybody?"
Oh, wow.
And I was performing at Flappers in Burbank the other day, and the girls, actually, this is a better story. The host said, "Where do you perform?" I said, "I perform in a lot of churches." And she goes, "I don't think I'd be great in churches." I was like, "Oh, okay. Do you feel like?" And I said, "Do you feel like I'm pushing you to perform in churches?" And she goes, "No, I thought we could just trade." And I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't pick up on that." I was like, "Yes. What do you have?" And she's like, "I know somebody who does cruise ships." And I was like, "I know a club in Arkansas. I'll trade you." And so I did. And so she gave me the email address of the person, and I reached out to him. And then I said, "Here's the email address to dude in Arkansas." And so now every time I meet somebody new, like I'd be like, "Could I trade you somebody? I know a few managers like here in Tulsa and a couple of different places." So that's another example. So I just write it down.
Interesting.
And then I'll just get on Facebook. I talked about this before, but when I met Nate Bargatze, he said, "Pick a lane and find your people." I found my people. That's you guys. And then my lane is I do clean comedy. I do church comedy. I'm a storyteller. And so I get online Facebook and I just start. I mean, my Facebook and Instagram are just inundated with comedy, stand-up stuff. Like some with the algorithm, some with who I follow. The other day I saw Nashville. Someone has this thing called Clean Comedy Collective. And I was just looking at it. It's smaller, but it's just a group of 4 people. They're dedicated to clean comedy in Nashville. I just DM'd them. I'm like, "I'm a clean comic in Tulsa. I put on a monthly show here. If you guys ever wanted to come down, you could do a show. I'm going to be in Nashville pretty soon." And the guy was just like, "Give me a call." And I called him. We talked. We're going to try to put something together.
Amazing.
So I like doing that.
Will you be my agent?
I could be your agent. Actually, probably make me good money, and then I could just be like, and he's got a great opener. It's probably a pretty good idea.
Sounds like a
We
win-win.
should totally do that.
Yeah. Actually, I could sell you really well. Because right now I have to just
well,
be
you're
like, I got a dry bar special coming out. I could come out,
Well, you're talking about knowing, like finding your lane or whatever. I think that is part
Oh my God,
of
Chris,
what
seriously.
I'm wrestling with right now.
We might if this is on the podcast, this is amazing. Because here's the deal. With a club,
Yeah.
all I have to say is he's got 100,000 TikTok followers and 30,000 Instagram followers.
Yeah, it's
And
25.
well,
Instagram.
not when I.
By the time this
not when I
plays.
promote you.
I'm pretty sure that 200,000.
I think we're at about a million. We're getting close to $250,000.
Well, when I said followers, I meant accounts reached in the last
I'm
year.
going followers, my friend.
No, I'm just kidding.
And oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But the thing is, headliners get to take a feature with them. I think I could do that, Chris. But you'd have to have 45 minutes. That's
I
the
know.
problem. That's
Yeah.
the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with my characters, I think I could get to 45 pretty easy. You're talking
Okay.
about.
Well, then there you go. Okay, so that's something I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good
Yeah.
at. It's reaching out to people. But
Anyways, yeah.
you struggle with it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle. I think it's more introverted, and I just don't see. I think people reaching out to me a lot of times, I just assume, oh, that was nice of them to do that.
Right.
I don't see the opportunity of like, oh, maybe I should say this back, and then we can strike up a relationship. Where like someone shouts me out or something, I think that's so cool. Someone shouts out Adam, and then like 2 weeks later, he's telling me like, "Hey, we're going to coffee on Friday." Or like you're able to just like progress the relationship. And like if I would have won the contest with Mike Birbiglia, that would have been the last time I talked to Mike Birbiglia. The night that I did the show.
Yeah,
you're like, "Man, that's so cool. Thank you. See ya." And you've got like a relationship now because it's like you know how to navigate that. Where I just
I think it's something. I think it's something that my dad was very relational. Yeah, he would. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I'd be with him like on a bus, like in another city.
Yeah,
and we get off the bus. He's like, "We're going to the Bears game now. I just got 2 tickets from that guy."
That's amazing.
He did that all the time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love people. It's not like I'm like, I hate everybody.
You sound like you're a preacher making a faith statement. I do. I say it and I have it.
I name it and I claim it. I love people.
I do love people.
I do love people. No, I really do enjoy relationships and getting to know people and all of that. I just feel awkward. Like I don't like. I feel like I'm like showing up to play a game that I don't know the rules to. And so I'm just constantly feeling like I'm like, is this against the rules, or is that too quick or too?
You don't love putting yourself out there either. Chris is shaking his head.
I'm getting better at that. Like
you are better.
I am getting better at just going like, this is part of what I feel like God's called me to do. Is like I have to be okay, and really this last year has helped me a lot of like kind of breaking through. Connecting with just tons of people that are so different than me or whatever, just people from all over the world writing things about you or whatever, where you just have to go like, they're going to misunderstand me and that's totally fine. Like I feel like I've grown through that, but just the personal relationship side of stuff where I think I struggle to maintain relationships.
You and Gary are both like that. You're kind of like that, aren't you, Gary? Like the work comes to you. You don't really.
Yeah, I don't go after stuff. Part of that is that when I have tried it, it was always fruitless.
Yeah. But the flip side of it, I think that you guys are better artists than I am. And I think because of that, you get asked to do more than maybe I do initially.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I mean, just like, your follower count or just like you get asked to do a lot more corporate-y kind of events than I do. Mine's a little bit more like if I find a lead or someone reaches out, like I'm pretty proactive about it.
But I mean, I really respect the amount of work you've put into your stand-up, and like I just feel like you're on a trajectory to where you're just getting better and better and better, and it's like the people that do that, I feel like always end up in a great place where they're like putting in the work. And I think you could say some of that, like as far as acting and stuff with me, of just like, for years and years and years, I've been doing sketch comedy or performing on stages and stuff like that. So it's not like I just rolled out of bed and like, I should be on TikTok. But the live side of it in these kind of settings is more new to me. And so I'm trying to kind of find my way through that.
I mean, first, that's very nice that you said that to me. That means a lot to me. So thank you. I would also say you spend a lot of time acting. Like that's just a lot of your time, and I don't. I have to write all the time. Like between the television show and comedy, like that is my main thing, and I don't have anybody who's just like, could you tell me that joke again, and I'll pay you. You know what I mean? Nobody's asking. I'm not doing cameos, anything like that. This is the only way that I make money. So, I think where you are an amazing actor, and I'm not. I don't put any work into it. I think we've heard about how many auditions I've actually gotten. A 0.
Could you connect me to your...
Yes, I can. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, that's a really good example.
It's a perfect example.
So long ago. When I got the agent, I told him, I was like, I got a guy that you might be interested in. He's like, let me know. And I was like, Chris, are you interested? He's like, I am.
Just the follow through.
What's the next step?
Working on the follow through.
Yeah, it is follow through. It's a lot.
Maybe I'll just do the follow through for you before I lose the agent for getting no auditions and making him no money. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. What did we take away from this? I think it's helpful that we're friends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think
That's why it always goes back to friendship.
Well, no, I think it speaks to the power of community, though, and like, I don't know, just like that we all like, none of us have all the gifts. Like
That's good. That's true.
that's why we need each other. That's it. There's things we don't know we have until someone else goes, "Man, you're really good at that," and you go like, "Oh, I just have always been able to do this. I didn't realize that was a big deal."
Yeah.
Like understanding the gifts that we have and how they can serve other people in our world, like I just think that's a beautiful way to live life, is like serving people around you with what you're good at. And so it's cool to me when we get three people like us in the room where we all have different things that we're really good at, and just kind of seeing what happens when we combine our superpowers. But
Maybe we'll call the episode "Combine Your Superpowers."
combine your superpowers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. Honestly, while you were talking about you writing all the time and me acting all the time, man, I just really felt like this, like I just about got teary-eyed a little bit, just overwhelming feeling of gratitude, of just like, holy crap, like we're literally sitting here talking about your job is to write and my job is to act, and like how stupid and amazing that is.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. How cool. It's just amazing, man. I feel so lucky, and it's the coolest.
If it ended here, I'd be like, "That was awesome."
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying our careers.
Yeah. No. I mean, if our careers ended, I would be like, "That was an awesome few years."
That was really cool that we got to do that.
That was really fun.
Yeah, totally.
All right, now I gotta go make these cheeseburgers.
And you know what I would say?
What?
I'd go, called it.
What a jerk.
Gary's just always believed in us and just been our
man,
biggest
it's just
cheerleader.
overwhelming. just flooded with the encouragement that comes from a best friend. Thank you, Gary.
And it's funny. My words aren't encouraging, but my actions are.
Yeah,
That's true.
That is very
We're
true.
in Gary's
So,
house.
We are.
He set this shoot up.
I just, I put the work in.
true.
Gary's a great guy.
If you ever need something in your house fixed, invite Gary over. You don't even have to tell him what it was.
Just invite me over for dinner. I'll notice it.
He'll notice it.
Yeah, he fixed stuff at my house that I didn't even ask him to.
Yeah.
He's just like, we're going to fix this beeping sound.
He
like,
fixed-
Oh, thank you.
Gary fixed something that the contractor installed incorrectly. It was the back sliding door.
Yeah.
The lock didn't ever work properly,
Oh
and he just happened to be back there, and he goes, "This is upside down."
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Adam, get me a screwdriver.
Changed my life.
Let's solve this problem.
did.
Incredible.
Yeah, so many things like that.
Yeah. Friends are important. That's what this episode is about. And so many people, I mean, there's a lot of, I feel like I see jokes about it all the time about how hard it is to make friends in your 30s or 40s or whatever. And
We're past our 30s.
We're
my friend.
we're well past that. And I can't imagine going through life without friends.
We did make these friends in our 20s, so I
guess that is true.
We didn't make them in our 40s.
Yeah.
So hold on to your friends.
Hold on to your friends. Maybe that's the
Maybe that's-
message for today.
Yep.
All right, fun episode. Hey, the podcast is growing.
Hey, awesome.
I'm stealing this phrase from another podcast, but it is the little podcast that could.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, and for everybody who has reviewed our podcast, shared our podcast, I'm looking at you, Tiffany Tolbert, or told people about our podcast, just kept listening to it. We continue to get more listeners every single week, more viewers. We are very appreciative. We love doing this and sharing our story with you. And so if you haven't reviewed it yet, then that would be awesome. We'd appreciate it. Especially, you don't have to, but if you wanted to give it a whole 5-star review, I'm looking at you, Abby Rawlings.
I would really appreciate that.
Then we would appreciate it. I mean, you can give it a 3 if you want, but we could use a 5.
If you don't have anything nice to say, maybe don't say it. But
yes,
any interaction would be super helpful.
yeah, sharing it and sharing it, subscribing to it, and reviewing it is very helpful. And then send us an email. We've had some. riskitpod@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and we will. And Adam Bush,
Chris Munch.
Gary Hornstein.
Gary Hornstein.
We'll see you out there.
Adios.